I just want to summarize what you were saying for everyone that is watching, and that is that obviously you know, you're Puerto Rican, you moved over to America without speaking, you know, much English, and you knew that you had to learn, you know, the language. You fell in love, as us women do, and you had a beautiful baby boy. Again, you know, it didn't work out and he wasn't around, so you really had to dig deep to make sure that you gave that son, you know, everything that you wanted him to have, and for him to, you know, one day look back and think, well, you know, if my mum can do it. And so you started this journey within the beauty industry, and I know that you were very passionate about, you know, wanting to break the industry and understand it yourself, and you did achieve that, and you now have, you know, so many abundant of certificates, like, you know, like you said, you name it, you do it, which is outstanding. But what I love about your story is how you went over to this particular practice, and you were like, I will work here for free. Just give me a chance, let me understand it, and in return, I will give you my time until I get to the stage where I will be able to really work with you on a salary basis. Now, not a lot of people do that, you know, and I actually was reading this book by Andrew Carnegie, and he says the problem with humanity is that they want everything for nothing.
Right.
And you can't, you know, you are going to have to roll your sleeves up and really get in there and try and do what you've got to do until you get to that stage, and be humble about it. And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, well, thank you for summarizing, and I'm sorry for the interruption. I had no idea New York City was deciding to do all the construction today. It's been very quiet during quarantine.
Everyone's back.
But, you know, it's a sign of things are coming back, so that's good. But yes, I mean, I think that there is, you know, there's no easy road when you really want to become an expert at what you do. You gotta, you know, it's like, this is my passion, and I'm glad I have a passion. There's a lot of people that really don't even know what they want to do, which is okay. You know, I mean, there's no judgment on that. But I feel blessed that I knew this is where I wanted to go in my career. So yes, I did this for, I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. And throughout the course of my career, I've had other opportunities. And one of them was building a medical spa, the first ever medical spa in the Bahamas. So I was, back in 2014, I was a guest of a friend. And through that friend, and you know, I met people, and I met the owner of the resort, and in like 4-minute elevator pitch, I said to him, this resort is gorgeous, but you're missing something. What are you gonna do when what do women do, or people in general, during the rainy days? If you're in an island and, you know, there are rainy days, there's really nothing to do. They could.
I know, it's terrible in the Caribbean when it's raining. Literally, there is nothing to do.
Like days of rain. Like, what do people do? You know, this. You could have an anti-aging center here. I could build it for you. There's all these non-surgical procedures now that people enjoy, you know, doing because it's preventative. It's like, you know, maintaining their beauty anyway. So. After waiting a few months, it was a yes. So I lived there for 3 years, and I built the medical spa. I chose all the equipment. Basically, I was a consultant for them, and so yeah, I hired the staff. I trained them. I actually took the staff to the U.S. and got them properly trained here and licensed. I hired the plastic surgeon as the medical director. And this is in a very luxury, members-only resort where Tiger Woods is part owner of this resort, and this is known for having, you know, top celebrities visit and also own homes here as well. So I knew that my quality of work had to be top notch. I mean, these are the people that go to Beverly Hills or Harley Street. So I also have a network of surgeons and dermatologists um, from London, Toronto, California, even Abu Dhabi, Germany. These are because the members in these resorts are people that are well traveled. They have homes everywhere. So I needed to have them, you know, connected with the right provider when they were not in the Bahamas. So that was a great experience. I'm really happy I did that. Along the way, of course, it wasn't all that pretty. There's a lot of bumps in the road, and there's a lot of people that want to be your friend to ruin your plan. There's a lot of people along the way in business that just, you know, and you don't see it coming until it happens, you know, and that's those 5 years. I think I learned more than my entire life about who to trust, what are the intentions of people, you know, being in your life, having a relationship with you. So that was actually more of a I don't know, that was a huge learning lesson for me. A lot of bad experiences that I don't want to focus on the negative right now, but I just want to mention this because everybody thinks it's like, I'm going to create a business and it's going to be fabulous. It's like, no, no. It takes, you got to know who you trust. You got to get a really good lawyer from the get-go and always consult the right people and hustle and hustle. And I mean, I would be up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning writing things that were for the med spa, for the website. I did everything. I did the design of the menu. I directed a huge photo shoot. I hired my own models for for the magazines. Like everything was me. In the beginning, it was my brand. It was Sonia Mace the Med Spa, and then they changed it to it's part of Nexus Wellness Collective now. So, but you know, anyway, I just wanted to mention that because it's a lot of tears, a lot of hard work, and a lot of people are gonna backstab you, try to ruin your plan. You know, like you told me in a text a few days ago, when you are on the road to success and you're getting there, there's gonna be the haters, and they're gonna be trying to ruin it for you. And you know, you gotta have, you know, I mean, I'm a little bit sensitive, so I take maybe a day to cry it out, and then I just get like, boom, I'm like a block, and I'm like, okay, let's fight. And this fight is mine, and I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna win, and that's what I do. So
I absolutely love you've touched upon some really, really key and fundamental points, right? I have a masterclass called Start Your Own Business, and one of the things that I say is what you have said in one go, and that is, look, people think that they can, you know, register a website, design a logo, get a couple of business cards, and already they've got a business. Well, I've got some news for you. That's not exactly how it works. Like, well done for getting that far, but actually the 80% to that journey is how much effort and energy and time you're willing to put in order to be able to enjoy the fruits at a later stage. And that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying, you know, I had to do late nights, early mornings, you know, there was no days off. I was here, I was there, I was in the magazine, I was getting the models, I was doing the accounts, I was setting up the business, I was doing the training, I was flying backwards and forwards. And that all required time, energy, and effort, which you were willing to put in, A, because obviously you enjoyed it, but B, because you knew that that's what it takes in order to be able to bring something off the ground and give it life and energy. So that is ultimately something so important. And I say this to all the girls that join the masterclass, that really, first of all, we need to change the mindset. Like, where are you? What are you thinking? What are you doing? Because if your mindset isn't correct, then you're not going to be able to do that diet. You're not going to be able to start that business. You're not going to be, you know, consistency is key, right? Tenacity is key. There are so many ingredients to the soup. Now, another thing that you said was about haters. And I actually had this conversation in one of my IGTV's interviews. In fact, it was yesterday. And I said, you know what? Do you know what I do with haters? I think, how many haters do I have? Fantastic. The more I have, the more I know I'm succeeding. Because the more successful you become, the more people are going to try and stop you in your way. So if anything, you got to think, yes, thank you, God, you are bringing me haters, because I am winning. I am doing the right thing. And that's what happened to you in those 5 years when you had all those people trying to attack you. I want to be your friend. We can do this together. All of this was actually you being on the road to success.
Yeah, and not only that, like they turn around, right? And then I'm like, oh my God, it's really funny because some people really try to recreate what you're doing, right? Which is kind of like imitation. Is what is the saying? That's the flattering.
Oh, it's a form of flattery, but I don't find it flattery.
Exactly. And I thought, and I'm like, you know what? They forget one thing. If you don't have the passion in your gut, you're not going to succeed. Like you can try to copy somebody, but it's like, you know, it's, I mean, this is what I breathe every day. So this is my life. There's not, since I was a little girl, I wanted to be in the beauty industry. So anyway, so that's the negative. During the course of that time, also because I was my own boss, I was able to travel a lot. And I traveled, it's funny because when I like a place, I like to go very often to that place. So I was all over Europe and Dubai and South America, and I made so many friends along the way. And I was always in London, which I love, and I have so many great friends in London. You're the second Latina now that I know in London.
There isn't many of us here.
No, I know Winelia and Forsyth.
Was she Bruce Forsyth's wife?
Yeah, she, you know, he passed away like 3 years ago. So that's, so yes, she's from Puerto Rico. She was the only Miss World for many, from Puerto Rico for many, many years. So I met her at the Miss World Gala in one of the hotels in London. I forgot. I was invited. So we met, and ever since we've been really good friends. But yeah, so traveling was a great experience. And then while I was traveling, I noticed, you know, like for example, like every summer going to Ibiza, and you know, it's a party place and you're in the sun, and there's limited resources for really good skincare when you're traveling. You know, it's not like there's a Sephora around the corner, let's say like in Ibiza or Mykonos or I don't know, Bordeaux. So I created, after I left the Bahamas, I created Jetsetter Glow. So Jetsetter Glow are my cheat masks. And
tell me about them.
So I created my cheat masks for basically for the travel industry. So the goal is to have these masks, and they come in a box like this. These are the eye masks. So they come in a box like this, and I put like the little, you know, lifestyle little icons, airplane, and little things that we do when we travel, a little message on the side. And I created this because I was like, you know what, they need to start changing the mini bar in hotel rooms these days. I mean, like, you find junk food, a lot of alcohol, you know, like a lot of junk food, and no beauty.
Nothing like for the well-being.
Nothing for the well-being, exactly. And if you spend, you know, all day by the pool or the beach, let's say in Miami, and you're going out to dinner, most people want to look, obviously, a beautiful glow. You kind of want that like 15-20 minute resting on your bed, or, you know, just before you take a shower to go out. And this is my vision. This is why I imagined, because I used to do this all the time. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go before I shower. I just want to like lay down for 15 minutes and I put on a sheet mask that helped me, you know, like hydrate, plump my skin. You know, alcohol dehydrates the skin, the sun dehydrates the skin. Traveling, the airplane is purposely extremely dry because they can't afford for the parts of the planes to get corroded, corrosion from the humidity. So basically the air inside an airplane is the same as a desert. Like your skin gets extremely
Wow.
dehydrated. So 70% of the humidity is gone. Like they don't want humidity there. So of course we get dry skin. It's all messed up. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do something about this. And it's again, so I launched this in December, and then the pandemic hit.
I
And
know. I it's happened to so many people.
and then my brand is Jetsetter Glow. It's for jet. It's like nobody's traveling. The hotels are closed. This is for minibar. This like, what am I gonna do now? I'm like, what the hell? I have a warehouse in Pennsylvania full of products. Like nobody's traveling, and like I have these fabulous masks. And here I go again. It's like it cannot be a smooth ride. I invested all my savings in this, over $140,000 in creating a company that is, I spent on attorneys alone probably $35,000 because I wanted to do everything by the book. I don't want my reputation to get screwed. Like this is my life. It's like these are my cells of my body in here. So but then we got the pandemic, hotels are starting to reopen now. So
They are.
I'm back in the game of like, you need this product. Most of the hotels, the minibar area especially, is run by men. This is not a fee. I'm actually disrupting a male environment.
You need to disrupt that in male environment and give it some femininity.
They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't know, but they don't get why people need this. And, like, they just don't understand. But I'm gonna, it's a learning process. I have now someone that's helping me with my sales pitch as well, because I don't know it all. I'm not an expert at everything. So I know what I'm good at, but there's some other things that I'm not great at. So maybe my pitch to the hotels have to be a little bit tweaked. But yeah, this is where I'm at right now. This was a few steps back from the pandemic, where I figured by this time, because the goal was to have hotels now have my products for this summer. It's more of a summer, well, actually it's all year round, but it's like I wanted to focus in hotels in Miami, Las Vegas, even the Hamptons here in New York. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just every weekend I'll be out there going to knocking on doors and see, for now I'm doing online sales, and that's the only thing I could do. Thank God for like e-commerce, right?
Right.
So and I'm working also in a plastic surgery practice, very close to my apartment, but in the other side of the river. So that's this is the hustle. You can't, it's not gonna be. It's always something, like, why did I have to do this? Like, what, this pandemic couldn't come in like 3 years? But again, maybe this is a good thing, maybe for some reason it's going to help me launch better now. I don't know.
But I think that, the journey to any business, it goes like this, it's a real roller coaster. And whether it's not the pandemic, it can be a financial crisis, like it happened in back in, when was it, 2009?
Yeah.
There's always, with life, there's always some sort of whirlpool that takes place. And it's true, it can wipe out many companies and many businesses. But it's important to keep your mind strong and don't forget why you started all of this. And like you said, you have to hustle. So now it's all about pitching and making sure you're speaking to the right people. And I always say this to all my girls, networking is key. You have to network, because networking is being able to build rapport, like you did with the gentleman in the elevator. You had like 4 minutes in this elevator, and you were like, and you know, and you knew that by the end of the minute you hit that floor and those doors open was going to be his decision as to whether he wants to speak to you again or whether he walks away. But
Yeah.
because you were obviously good within your pitch and what you were selling had value, because things have to have value, right? So that people can also utilize it. Like services and products have to be valuable. And, you know, he did. And that's how, you know, you launched this fantastic center in the Bahamas. Now, you did say that you have lots of certificates. Before it cut out at the beginning, you were saying cellulite. Can you just tell me all the various things that your experts lie in?
Yeah, so I've worked with various modalities or, you know, devices to do non-surgical aesthetic work. And so, yeah, some of my certifications are with, like, there's a company called Venus Legacy. Venus Concept. They have an amazing office in London. I've been to their offices, and great people. So Venus Concept has they have so many devices. You name it, they have it. I mean, it's radio frequency for skin tightening of the face, skin tightening of the body, cellulite treatments also with radio frequency. That the device is called Venus Legacy.
Does that help?
It does help. There's no cure. There's nothing that will eliminate cellulite forever. So it's like you have to maintain it. You have to do, like, let's say once or twice a week, you know, a session of an hour. And then once you do like 10 treatments, then depending also on the size of the body, you know, there's people that are petite, but they have a little bit of cellulite. You know, the bigger the person, maybe the more treatments they need. And then they need maintenance, you know, once a month. When you stop doing it, obviously things go back to normal. So it's like diet, exercise. It's a lifestyle, you know. It's not like, you know, you're gonna come to me and I'm gonna fix your problem and then you don't have to do anything at home. You know, I always say, you know, it's 80-20. What I do is 20%. The rest is you. I'm not home with you, so I you know, you have to exercise and take care of yourself. But yeah, then of course the fractional lasers. There's another device called Cyton. They have an amazing handpiece called BBL, which is broadband light, and it's similar to IPL, but much better technology. I love it. It does many things. And so they're famous for their Halo Glow, which is you can have a beautiful glow, you know, in just 2-3 days, no downtime. So these are things that you have to be really well trained and, you know, licensed to do these treatments in a plastic surgery setting. Tons of chemical peels. I've worked with Obagi products. I actually met Dr. Obagi.
Obagi, I love Obagi products.
Yeah, I met Dr. Obagi in London at the FACE conference, which is supposed to be now. I think now I'm supposed to be at the FACE conference in London, which was canceled. So I met him there a few years ago. In 2 minutes, he told me all the things that were wrong with my skin, which was really fun. Yeah, it was like, even with my makeup on, he was like, you have this, and that. And I was like, oh my God, yes. He did the most amazing skin analysis in 2 seconds.
I would love to meet Dr. Obagi.
He was amazing. So I've met, yeah, so that was incredible, just, you know, being there. I've also been in the Monaco meetings. They're usually in April. So the aesthetic meeting in Monaco, I meet really interesting people, plastic surgeons from all over the world. The best part about Monaco is the big party in the yacht club with all the surgeons.
You know, I used to live there for 6 years.
Yeah, I have many that will come and go from Monaco, but I've been.
I mean, I would never go and live there again. I think 6 years was enough. It's nice to visit, but not to live.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So. But yeah, so, you know, and then Paris also. So I go to my meetings in Paris, which also this year, everything has been canceled, obviously.
I know.
But, you know, it's just, you know, I'm always curious to see, even if it's treatments that we don't offer in the US because they have to be FDA approved. But I'm always curious to see, what are they doing in Europe? Like, I need to know, because I have people that travel to see me from everywhere. And I don't, you know, I need to know what they're talking about when they come into my room. You know, have you heard of this? Have you heard of that? So
Yeah, you need to be in the know.
yeah, yeah. So, um, I mean, what else can like sculpture? I mean, I have, you know, it's a
You are a true expert in your field, and I love that about you, because the fact that you know more or less a little bit about everything really does make you high up there within the beauty industry, because you need to know all your stuff, like you said. Now, Sonia, what advice would you give women that at this moment think that, you know, they're depressed, they feel they can't come out of this hole that they're in, they want to be able to start a business, but they're living their life on autopilot and they just haven't got the energy? What would you say to them?
I mean, the first thing I would say is they're not the only one. There's a lot of people feeling the same way, and even people that have had successful businesses have setbacks and feel the same way. I would say always take care of your mind and your soul. Be grateful for what you have at the moment,
Gratitude.
the surroundings, your roof, the food, and the good people around you. And then that's the core, that's the foundation. And then from there, you can do anything. But yes, it takes time.
Absolutely.
It takes being bold and asking, um, knowing that maybe you're going to get 1,000 no's before you get a yes.
So true.
So it's, you know, just don't be so, I would say don't be so hard on yourself. These are tough times for a lot of people right now. But I think it's also a good time to slowly start something new.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are starting over. So surround yourself with positive people always.
It's infectious, you know, negativity breeds negativity, positivity breeds positivity. Pick your road. You know,
Yeah.
it's totally, you know, up to you. So that leads me on to my last question, and that is, if you had a magic wand and you could change anything in the world, one thing,
Yes.
what would it be and why?
Um, One thing I would like companies. I would like to see women of all races and all colors and all backgrounds have a moment to be heard and give opportunities to these women, because it's been a struggle, and it still is for many years, to, you know, to get ahead when you have a lot of obstacles. So I think that there's, and I say this because this is what's happening to me. You know, I oftentimes wonder if I was a man with these products, um, that has a good talking ability,
Would you go further?
would they be already in the hotels? Probably. But, you know, I think that women need to stay strong and keep pushing and keep pushing. And I would like to see more companies around the world give women a chance, you know, women of all colors, a chance to grow their families on their own and be and have a step in business. So I know that is happening, because I know a lot of organizations are helping women, but I still, there's a lot of work to be done with that.
I absolutely love that. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time and,
Oh,
you know, doing this interview. It's been amazing.
yeah, thank you for having me. This is wonderful. You're really like the right energy that everyone needs to wake up every day. So you're doing work. I'm so happy I met you. And I wanted to share one thing. Uh,
Yes, please do.
so anyone that is trying to come up with a new business that, you know, it's important to read, you know, about business and other, you know, what other people that have been successful or not successful are writing. I love this book, The Disruption Mindset. So disruption
The
is,
Destruction Mindset by, who's it by?
it's by Charlene Lee.
Okay.
And this book is it gives you the good, the bad, and the ugly of starting a new business, especially if you're disrupting into something that hasn't been heard before.
I love that.
So I always try to, I don't know why, but I always try to do difficult things. So
The only way to grow.
Yeah, so I don't go for what has been done before. So I'm like, what hasn't been done? And it's really a lot of work. So this has been an amazing book, and I just wanted to share that. But thank you for having me.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Yes, and we'll stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I can't wait to see more of your guests coming on your channel here, and you're a great inspiration.
Thank you so much, my darling. You have a wonderful day, and God bless.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.